Mountain jumper. Australia, year 2125. The air was dry as ground bone. What had once been savanna was now cracked earth, mottled with tough, resilient bushes. Across this almost shadeless landscape strode Corey, the last great red kangaroo of the outback. Corey was no ordinary kangaroo. His legs were thinner, designed to conserve energy. His fur, once bright reddish, had turned paler, almost dusty gray, to blend in with the dry earth. Only his eyes retained their ancient fire, large, dark, full of memory. He had been born on an abandoned biological station, where scientists tried to save what was left. They implanted a small neural module, not to control him, but to allow him to remember more, feel more, transmit. Because at that time, it was no longer enough to preserve the species. They had to make it speak to the world. Corey walked, jumped, and drank from the dew that dripped from leaves woven by biomechanical insects. Sometimes he approached the edges of bubble cities, where children watched him through glass domes, wondering if this animal was real or an illusion projected by 20th century archives. One day, crossing what had once been a road, Corey stopped. The wind carried an ancient smell: smoke, metal, gunpowder. Hunters. They still existed, despite the laws. There were still those who hadn't understood anything. But Corey no longer fled. He leaped into a crevice, not to hide, but to reach the Hall of the Earth Spirits, a sacred cave beneath the dry ground. There, the module in his head connected to an ancient hologram tree. Thousands of memories stored by his species, hundreds of generations of leaps, hunger, nurture, and sun, were stored there like a great living library. That day, while the hunting drones searched unsuccessfully for his signal, Corey logged on for the last time. Not out of fear, but out of legacy. What he transmitted were not words, nor images, but a sensation: the trembling of the earth beneath his paws, the silence of a dead mother in the dust, the air of childhood when it was still raining, the cool shade under a eucalyptus tree. The children of the bubble cities received those sensations in their dreams. They woke up crying, not knowing why. And the next day, they began to ask, to demand, to reforest. Corey, the last free jumper, was never seen again. But his energy, as he himself knew, did not disappear. It only transformed. Since then, when night falls on the new green reserves, some claim to hear a soft jump, a crunch in the dust, and to feel something ancient in their hearts, life asking for another chance.